Welcome back, Savages. Tonight we're talking the Mandela Effect. This has been a controversial topic through every social media platform known to mankind.
There's so many Facebook pages alone just talking about everybody's, I remember this. No,
Right.
It's not.
Well, because you have the stuff that you remember, the stuff that I remember, the stuff that he remembers, the stuff that kids her age would remember, because it's always different.
Yes. It's kind of interesting because I swear that some of these are not correct.
And that's what the whole controversial topic
Yeah.
is, though. We remember them happening, but it's a whole case of misremembering things. But it's not to me, because
No.
I still remember.
The phenomenon was named by a paranormal researcher, Fiona Broom. She remembered Nelson Mandela dying in the 1980s and was 100% sure she remembered the news coverage of his funeral. Years later, he became the president of South Africa. So, obviously, he didn't die. He actually passed away in 2013. And so she started researching and reading a lot of things from other people, and there was a lot of people that remember the same thing.
So I actually read the news article about him, because I don't remember who he is at all. There was news articles where he was imprisoned, and they thought he died in prison, but he did not.
Right.
And that could be why people thought he died.
How would it get so far as so many people remembering the news stories and a funeral?
Well, I mean, you have those people who are famous, who have just dropped off the face of the earth, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, so-and-so has passed away, da-da-da-da-da, here's the funeral. And then it was like, oh, no, sorry, this was false news. It was like for a movie or something, because there was that news article that went around. There was a movie, I can't think of what it was now, but she got stuff thrown on her. And it spread like wildfire that she was attacked in New York, and there was news coverage. And then a couple of weeks later, they came back and they were like, you know, we did confirm it was for a movie, that she wasn't attacked.
Yeah.
So it's word of mouth. It's that telephone game.
Yeah. And the other reason they say is people remember what they expected to see. I still have a hard time with that one, though. When so many people remember things a certain way, all of them expected to see it that way and saw it wrong.
Well,
I don't know. The Monopoly guy. I swear I remember him having the little monocle.
I do too.
But no, he didn't have that.
A lot of people need to remember too that things over the years get edited to make them look better. And you have all of the AI stuff now, and you have all of these people are discovering editing programs. They're like, hey, cool, I'm going to take this image and look, I can make it different. And then they post it and it goes viral. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, didn't he have this or this? And you're like, yeah, but he doesn't now. Yeah.
But there's a few of these that they've went back through original footage of the commercials, the movies, whatever, and these things were never there.
Well, they're edited.
I mean, I'm okay with going with that because I clearly remember things being a certain way and now they're not, and that's just not okay. One of the theories with the Monopoly guy is they're claiming that because so many people have a preconceived idea of what a rich older man should look like, having a cane, a top hat, a monocle.
Yeah, in the 1800s and then 18 to 1900.
Yeah, back when I first started playing Monopoly, that is not what an old guy looked like to me.
No.
So I don't know. Then they say the power of suggestion causes people to have these fake memories. Okay, I could see that if you're telling me that I'm remembering him without the monocle, but he really did, because then we lost something over time, not, oh, poof.
He didn't have one.
I have a really hard time with this, and I don't know of any possible reason for it.
Aliens.
I mean, we can blame it on them. We blame everything else on them.
No, we're sticking with aliens.
So, Shaggy.
He totally had an Adam's
Yes,
apple.
he did, because
I
we used
remember
to laugh
watching
at
it
it.
move.
Yeah.
No, because Shaggy's character, that is editing. Because Shaggy's character throughout all of the Scoobies, from the time they had the mini Scooby Gang to now, has been edited so many times.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised he doesn't have an Adam's apple anymore, because they changed the color of his pants, they changed the color of his shirt. Unless you've watched the show like a million times, you're not gonna know. But I've watched it since the early 90s and I've seen him change.
Being a kid, the whole Adam's apple thing used to freak me out. So if somebody had one, even a cartoon character, that's all I could see when they were talking.
Right, because I mean, even Scooby's edited. There are things about Scooby that have been edited.
But they're claiming that if you go back through all the originals, he never had one.
No, that was what I was explaining to him. I feel like if you go back to all the stuff on VHS tapes, it's different than what the DVDs are and the Blu-ray, because all of those are
Digitally
Yes.
enhanced. That was tough to say.
You struggled there for a minute. You can see the difference in things. Even now, if you put on a DVD to what we get for streaming, they're different colors, different backgrounds. Everything is different because everything is more enhanced.
Mickey Mouse.
This one, I remember him not having suspenders.
Really?
Yes, I remember him having suspenders in some things, but the black and white things, he didn't have suspenders. Those were the more controversial Mickey Mouse episodes.
Before things had to be politically correct.
Yeah, and they weren't so racist.
So with Wizard of Oz, I remember this very clearly because I don't like the flying monkeys. Remember her saying, "Fly, my pretties, fly."
Yeah, and then she says, "Fly, fly, fly."
Yeah. Watch that movie. Not every time it's on TV. Doesn't always have that clip in it. They cut the flying monkeys out in a lot of the versions.
They were scary.
Yeah, they were.
Racist. That was the whole thing about it. I remember watching the VHS tape version and then the televised version, and I think we even had it on DVD. I don't know why. I hate that movie. But through all of them, something is different about every single one of them.
I
hate that movie. I am sorry to anybody who likes The Wizard of Oz, but no.
I liked the movie because I grew up watching it, and it was one of those things that you could only watch once a year when it was on TV. I've tried to make my kids watch it, and it's boring to them, so they won't watch it.
And Crunch.
That's what I'm
pretty sure it still is Captain Crunch. We just said Captain because that's what he is, but it was always Captain Crunch. This cereal will shred the top of your mouth. Oh, it used to hurt so bad after eating it.
Snoopy. I used to watch Snoopy, but I never paid that much attention to his tail, so I can't really comment on this one.
Peanuts was never my thing.
I liked the
Great Pumpkin episode.
And I liked the Christmas one, but I didn't really pay any attention to his tail. Apparently, a lot of people remember his tail being black, but in reality, it's white with a small black spot on it.
That could just be how it's edited. His nose was always blue. But Tony the Tiger's nose, yes. His nose was blue on the box, but on TV, his nose was black.
Yes.
That I've seen, where his nose is black on TV, but on the box it was blue.
Well, because it matches the box. The box is blue.
Advertising.
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
Go ahead, you like this one.
So there's the big one of Kazam that Sinbad never played a genie. I have seen that movie. He's in that movie. Unless there is a man that looked exactly like him.
Well, supposedly Shaquille O'Neal.
No.
Yeah. There's a very big difference between Shaq and...
Yes. Yeah. That was definitely Sinbad. Even Sinbad, if he doesn't want to remember it, that's fine. But I remember watching that movie.
Well, he claims he was never in that movie.
Somebody lied.
Then you have a doppelganger out there that was in the movie.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if you look it up, if you Google his name, it comes up as Kazam. The Britney Spears video. So I remember both. I remember seeing the Oops, I Did It Again music video where she did have a headset. And then I remember seeing it without a headset.
Was the headset one a video of her.
So the one that I remember when she did have the headset was the music video on MTV.
Okay.
Where she was portraying a character who was doing the scene live. And that's why she had the headset. I remember seeing it on TV where she didn't have the headset anymore. Because I used to be obsessed with Britney Spears, and we watched all of her music videos, even though we probably shouldn't have, because she didn't have a lot of clothes on.
No, not at that age. I picture it with the headset on, but I don't remember it clearly enough to talk about the whole video.
I have always remembered the label as Jif, but we said Jiffy.
Yeah.
But I also hate peanut butter, so it doesn't matter if I don't eat it.
I don't know if I remember the label saying Jiffy because that's what I called it.
I mean, because labels change.
Yeah.
Especially depending on who the distributor is.
And now I'm thinking back, I'm like, yeah. It didn't taste quite right.
Coke distributes it one way, and then Pepsi distributes it another way, which I didn't know until I saw that video that Coke also distributes Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
That's why they taste different sometimes.
Well, that's why you have like Sprite and Starry, or Starry used to be the 7-Up, and then now you have the Starry.
You have Starry, Sprite, 7-Up, Toons or Tuns?
I've seen both.
Yeah.
I saw the Looney Tunes, this one, in the older ones, but I've seen Looney Tunes like this in the newer ones. Because back then, a lot of them were musicals. Now they're not so musically.
Yes.
Musical.
Back in the day, a lot of things were
musicals. Oh my God, everything had to sing.
Yeah.
Kids don't like singing all the time.
There's one way down on the list that I'm very angry about, but we'll get there. It's really bothering me.
This makes me think of the Looney Tunes thing where they had the movies that you could buy that were sing-alongs, and you had like the dancing characters. I think they had like 4 or 5 of those. My grandmother used to go crazy because we were like, oh, we want to watch a sing-along. This is the Berenstein Bears.
Yes. Is it the Berenstein or Berenstain?
Berenstein. It's Berenstein Bears. I will die on a brick for that one.
No, they claim it was an A, not an E.
It's the Berenstein Bears. I don't care how it's spelled. That's the way it's going to be pronounced. It's the Berenstein Bears.
That's what it
I had every book, every movie, every character growing up because they were easy to read.
Yes, they were.
And now
look at you.
I know.
I have some of those laying around.
He never had a tail.
I don't remember him having a tail. Curious George, by the way.
I remember him having a tail in some episodes, or he had a tail in the books, but he didn't have one on TV.
I didn't watch it as a kid, but one of my kids liked to watch this. And I remember him hanging from a tree when they were doing something, but I can't remember if it was an arm or a tail.
I remember him having a tail in the books, but not on TV, or vice versa. I know he had a tail in one of them.
Is it Sex in the City or Sex and the City?
I'm pretty sure it's Sex in the City. Well, I think there are 2 versions. There was Sex in the City that was on TV, but then I think there was another version for streaming.
The one on TV was called Sex and the City.
Yeah, I think the one on streaming is Sex in the City.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't ever watch that.
I watched like 5 seconds of it and was like, no, I don't do those.
It bored me. This one bothers me too, the Febreze labels, because I remember it being 2 E's. It was always Febreze when they would say it on the commercial. They didn't change it. It's always been with one.
I'm convinced. Because I remember the commercials too, where there was like a bunch of E's. Like, my
bologna has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My bologna has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Yeah.
There's a song, people.
That one's easy. Y'all are wrong. Skechers. Is it Skechers or Skechers?
It was CH. There was never a T.
Yeah.
It was always CH. And I bought stocking Skechers because they had like the Supergirl shoes that I had to have because they were platformed. Twisted my ankle to the point where I needed to go to the hospital. My mom's like, no.
You're done.
Oh, Fruit Loops. It's the second option, which is the F-R-O-O-T. because that is exactly what I remember is all of the Fruit Loops.
Yes.
And that's my favorite cereal, so
Yes.
I'll die. I'll die on the cross for that one.
I always remember it being the two pieces of cereal making the O's. This one, I have no clue. King Harry
In the
turkey leg.
Okay, so the one that has that weird turkey leg totally looks edited.
It totally looks like a kid drew it.
It looks like somebody just took his arm and twisted it upside down.
Yeah.
Because it's not even facing the right direction.
No.
For the hand that it's in.
In the original picture, it looks like his arm is up like this with his hand on his shoulder, and in the other one, he's like, eh.
So if he's holding it in his right hand, it would be like this. Like his hand would be twisted like towards his mouth.
Yeah.
The way that his hand is
He's
in
like-
this picture, he's like this.
I'm gonna eat my turkey leg. Pikachu
Pikachu always had the brown in his tail.
at the top.
The
Okay.
brown was at the top of his tail, not the base of his tail.
Okay. I have no idea.
Why it's black, but
According to this, he never had any color but just yellow.
no, it was definitely brown at the tip of his tail because I'm a nerd and I used to collect Pokemon.
Kit Kat?
There wa-
Hyphen? No hyphen.
There was always a hyphen until,
I thought there was always a hyphen too, but these
Yeah.
people say no. There was never a hyphen.
yes, there was a hyphen.
Fruit of the Loom.
I remember both. I remember the cornucopia and then when they transitioned out of the cornucopia and just did the fruit.
I remember it being there.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, why do you have fruit on your underwear? Second of all, why do you have a cornucopia
Yeah,
with
I
fruit
don't
on your underwear?
understand that either. What is,
Fruit of the Loom. What?
you don't put fruit in your underwear.
No, and if you do, you have bigger problems than whether or not there was a cornucopia.
Yeah, no.
Cheese it.
Cheese it.
Is it cheese it or cheese its?
It's it.
Yes.
We said cheese. That's how we were talking about
and we
them.
ate multiples, but
Yeah.
it was a cheese it.
I hate them. They're disgusting.
I like the flavored ones.
Hello. I remember two T's.
Teas?
I remember both T. Jesus Christ. I remember both F's. I remember that. Because they would always emphasize the last F. They're like double stuffed. Listen,
We're gonna move on.
shut up.
Mona Lisa's smile. No clue. Can't. I have no comment on this one, but the picture, which he'll put these in here, I assume. The picture on the left, she definitely has a totally different look to her mouth.
The whole painting, that's how it was perspective. Some people saw her smiling, some saw her frowning, and some people saw her smirking.
It depends on if you're looking straight on from the side.
Okay, so C-3PO, I really can't read today. I remember C-3PO being all gold when he was originally given to Luke. We got into an argument earlier about Star Wars. Whoever it is, I remember him being all gold until something happened where he had his leg, I think, ripped off or
Wasn't it
melted
lava?
off. And then they repaired him with a silver leg because he makes a joke out of it during the movie.
I got traumatized as a child watching those movies when they were in the bar with all the A words, and I couldn't watch anymore after that.
Well, they're not considered aliens if they're in space already. That's just home.
To me, they were.
Mama.
And I wasn't going to watch them because they scared me.
Nah.
I did like Jabba the Hutt and C-3PO and R2-D2.
Nobody likes Jabba the Hutt.
I liked him because he was gross. I don't
You're
know.
weird.
My
He's actually a
favorites was
pimp.
Chewie and the Ewoks.
Oh, I can't do
I
that.
love Chewie.
I used to have a dog that looked like an Ewok, and my mom would be like, "Don't torment the dog."
This one, the Flintstones, I remember this because it is still to this day one of my favorite cartoons. It is Flint Stones.
I don't remember the extra T. I remember the Flynn's tones.
Nope, it was Flint Stones.
No,
Yes.
you're wrong.
The Flintstones have two T's.
Oh dear God.
It's been a really, really, really long, stressful day.
Yes. So we got into an argument earlier. Me and Caden got into an argument about the Star Wars movie because I remember him saying, "Luke, I am your father," but apparently it's "No, I am your father.
I remember I am your father because as we were kids, we all ran around and said that to each other.
Yeah, even now, I'll walk up to people and be like, Luke, I am your father. Yes.
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 Cinderella's Castle. This one I haven't heard about. Contrary to popular belief, there is only one Cinderella Castle, and it is Walt Disney World, Florida.
There is only one Cinderella's castle.
Oh, the blue and pink castle in California.
Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, because if you go to Orlando, when you've gone to Orlando, that's the first thing that you see.
Yeah.
And it is blue.
And it's freaking
Yeah,
beautiful.
there are no other colors. I have yet to go.
I've been to both.
I have watched this movie more times than I can count because I love sharks. You're gonna need a bigger boat is what he says. If you're not paying attention, it sounds like we're gonna need a bigger boat. He tells the guy that, oh, you're gonna need a bigger boat because he goes after the shark.
Okay. This next one, you're wrong. Whoever you are that comes up with these, you're wrong. I can very, very clearly remember Ed McMahon ringing doorbells, handing people giant checks, saying he works for...
Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yes. I remember this. My grandmother used to watch them with me because she loved him and she wanted him to come and ring our doorbell.
That was... I remember the joke that people would make, like, when they were broke, and it was like, oh, I hope Ed McMahon comes one day. Mm-hmm. That was always, like, the running joke. Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, he gave people
checks. And it says he worked for American Family Publishers, but he never handed anyone checks. Yes, he did. I saw the TV commercials.
Well, it may have been for the commercials.
Right. But they're saying that that never even happened on the commercials.
Oh, no.
It did. I know it did.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
But supposedly he says life was like a box of chocolates.
No, it's clear as day because his mama said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Oh, movie people.
This one, Truce, is a pink magenta color.
I don't know.
That's what I was always taught that it was, but now they're saying really a shade of green.
Chartreuse used to be a color for a lot of weddings, and it was pink.
Yes, but now it's green.
Oh, it's an herbal liquor. Da-da-da. Oh. It's multiple colors.
Okay.
So there's a green chartreuse, a yellow chartreuse, a pink chartreuse.
Okay.
And a blue chartreuse.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Truce also refers to a yellow-green color, which is fitting name for the liquor's vibrant hue. But my guess is because it's a liquor, depending on what you add to it, it changes the color.
Yeah. This one, I don't know because I've had to sit through this movie because of the children, but I've never watched the movie, so this one's all you.
Is this Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
I have never seen Lord of the Rings.
The memorable line of "Run, you fools" was never said by Gandalf before his treacherous fall. You can clearly hear him saying, "Fly, you fools."
I don't know. I've heard this one, which is the Snow White. I've heard it two different ways depending on the movie. In the original VHS tape, because I'm a 92 baby, she says, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. But in some of the TV, the one that they started playing on TV, she says magic mirror. And in the live action one, she says magic mirror. But
I've always heard it as mirror, mirror. Interesting. This one is Queen. And
we are the champions of the world.
No. No, apparently not. He doesn't say that. We all remember him belting out of the world at the end of We Are the Champions, but he doesn't. My car was lining the road with this blaring. But supposedly he adds that line at the end of the song during the Wembley Stadium performance.
A lot of the time, though, when they've done those performances, they play them. So that could be why. But I know that because we used to play it for football games.
That was for everything.
Yeah.
Technically, he could still come and tell us.
I'm not familiar with Mr. Rogers. I mean, I am, and I was excited when the whole rumor went around that the reason why he wore sweaters and long sleeves was because he was covered in tattoos from the military.
I used to love Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
And he'd sit on his little bench and he'd change his shoes. Beam me up, Scotty. I clearly remember that. The times I got stuck watching this TV show when it was 1 o'clock in the morning. We didn't have TV that ran all the time. It would shut off at a certain point. This was always the show that was on before the TVs would shut off.
Yeah, and there's always like the running joke when people do things. They're like, yeah, beam me up, Scotty.
But no, apparently he never said those words. The closest he got was, Scotty, beam us up.
No, it's beam me up, Scotty. That's the only way that it makes sense.
When she says, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
That's what she does say that.
No, she says, Toto, I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
That's too many words.
Yeah.
Too many words. And the next one, because this is my movie.
Yes.
That is my movie. So, Tom Cruise in the sunglasses scene for Risky Business. I remember watching that scene on TV, and he had sunglasses on.
And that was like kids dressed up
because
like that for Halloween.
So that picture doesn't even look like Tom Cruise.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't even look like Tom Cruise. Which, again, is people edit things, and then they just keep going. I clearly remember him with the sunglasses on.
He is wearing the iconic shades on the movie poster. So why would he wear them on the poster if he didn't in the movie?
Right. That doesn't make sense.
We have to get through our list.
This one had me in an uproar because I can quote this movie word for word with Hannibal Lecter. Silence of the Lambs is my movie.
The key phrase in the whole movie.
Right. The first time I saw that movie, I was 10, and I remember he gets really close to the glass, and he goes, hello. That is my favorite part in the movie. But then I remember watching it on TV recently, and the whole part has been cut. And from what I gathered was that they took it off because it was too creepy.
But that's
the whole point of the Hannibal Lecter movies. He does say good morning to her when she gets there, but she ignores him, and that's when he goes, hello, Clarice. Mm-hmm. Like, I have that memorized.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts. This one aggravates me. I Love Lucy. I clearly remember him because we all loved when he said this part because he's got his accent and he said, Lucy, you have some splaining to do.
Yes, he does.
What he really says, according to whoever it is splain that if you can, Lucy. Splain.
No, that doesn't make sense.
You have some splaining to do.
Yeah, there are 50 states in the United States. We're not even going to argue about that. That's on the freaking map.
I've never seen this movie.
No.
And Casablanca. What is said by Ingrid Bergman's character is, play it once, Sam, for old time's sake. But even I know I've heard the line, play it again, Sam.
I have no idea. I never watched those kind of movies.
I didn't watch it, but I've heard the phrase because a lot of people say it's Smokey Bear. It's not Smokey the Bear. The Bears.
No, his name was just Smokey. I never said Smokey Bear. And if I did, I said Smokey the Bear.
Yeah.
But his name is Smokey. You can't put Smokey Bear. He is a bear.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. So no, it's Smokey the Bear.
The Tank Man, supposedly during 1989 Tiananmen Square protests, recollections of the event vary. Some say the unidentified man known as Tank Man was run over and killed. Others show pictures of him unharmed.
Okay, well listen, if you're gonna walk out in front of a tank, I don't know if you've ever seen a tank, but tanks are huge and they don't stop very well. So if you're gonna stand there,
Smash, sorry.
I'm not gonna debate that one.
Neil Armstrong, people had no recollection of his death. Many fans apparently forgot or didn't notice.
I know who he is, but I don't remember that he died.
Okay, this one, Joan Jett. I grew up with this song.
I love this song.
I saw him standing there by the record machine. It was not, I saw him dancing there by the record machine.
I could get both of those there.
But you can clearly hear her say, I saw him standing there at the record machine.
Now I'm going to have that song stuck in my head for the rest of the night.
Mother Teresa, I guess there's one going around about when she was made a saint. It apparently happened in 2016, but many people remember her entering sainthood in the 1990s.
So
You can't be a saint if you're alive.
right. That's when we started all the Catholicism stuff. And I remember our priest saying Mother Teresa and calling her, but he never called her a saint.
Yeah.
Until after the fact.
Yeah.
So I remember her being just Mother Teresa.
So 2016.
And then I just admit to the Catholic, he's never won an Oscar. Leonardo DiCaprio. He's never won. I'm sure if I said that, people would be like, yep, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. Because there were so many movies he was in. He was nominated, but he never won.
Yeah.
Because he should have won in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He should have won one for Titanic, and he didn't. That was a great movie. 2 tapes, people. There were 2. It was like a 4-hour movie. Please tell me you remember Titanic was on tape.
No, I'm looking at the next one and I'm doing the math because I was in the hospital visiting my grandfather when this happened. The space shuttle Challenger.
I heard about it in school.
I didn't say that. We were at the Cleveland Clinic and I remember we were downstairs walking in front of the lobby area that had all the TVs. And all the people were hovering around the TVs, and my grandma and I, we were walking, and we're like, what's going on? That's all I remember about it. He died in 91.
I was born in 92.
And I was a kid when we were there. So it happened in 86. So then I would have been 13, 14. But I swear I remember being younger than when we were walking through there. And there's a lot of people who thought it happened in 84 or 85.
I don't know anything about it because I wasn't born again until 92. I just remember being told about it. Like,
Do you want to say that one more time?
1992? I just remember them talking about how sad it was because of like that teacher. It was like her big moment.
It was
then
horrible.
It was her last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She made history.
Yeah, because she died.
She got to.
We're not going to talk about the Lindbergh baby. That's just
We
the
got
whole
to
thing.
spread her ashes. We'll
That
pay
one.
lots of money for that. I think that's all of the Mandela
I think
Effects
we've
for today.
covered a lot of. Whether you think you're right or wrong, there has been a version of every picture, movie, painting, nail polish, eyeliner. Everything is going to change throughout the years. It just depends on in what time frame that you're in, because things change all the time. Think what you want, do what you want. We're not going to tell you what to do. We are in the countdown for Penhurst Asylum. As of right now, nothing's changed. No new people have been added since we went through last time. So the closer we get, we'll keep you guys informed about that. But we are super excited to go and meet Josh Gates.
And Nick.
We love them, but Josh Gates.
Nick Groff.
Stop it. All right, guys.
Bye.